Yo, what's up guys, AFC Dino here and welcome to a new video. We're gonna start part 2 of episode 1. I basically recorded me climbing on the rank ladder. Basically the goal is to reach top 100 on this account. Currently going 7-1. We started 4-1 before starting the road, so we basically are 3-0 right now. But yeah, we just count the other ones, it doesn't really matter. Currently at 557.97 rating, and yes, top 100 is like 700 right now, so we need about 145 rating, right? The Blissey word, not getting it, but yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead to team preview. As you guys can see, my opponent running quite a scary team there. The Crobat, the Empoleon, the Rotom defensive core, and then definitely a lot of damage with Garch, Galder, and Hydreigon. I'm not sure how I lead this off with. I think I led up with Gligar in this game. Again, if it's Trick Rotom, I don't want my Blissey to be poisoned, because my Blissey actually has the tech to beat the Hydreigon. So in that sense, I felt like my Gligar in that sense would be the least useful one. Let's see how we play this out. So my opponent does indeed lead with the Rotom, and I do lead with the Gligar. Like, Trick Rotom is so annoying for this team to face. I just go for the U-turn, and yeah, another Trick Rotom. They always lead with that Trick Rotom and click Trick Turn 1 just to be annoying. But I get my U-turn up and I'm looking at the damage, and I'm not doing that much. So I think this is like a bold defensive Rotom. But now I'm able to get in my Blissey, and I'm looking to click Stealth Rock here, because in case he goes Crobat or Empoleon, to soak the Toxic, right? Get up my Stealth Rock, and I need to find out who the debugger is. It can be Empoleon, it can be Crobat, it can be Rotom. He decides to go into Empoleon, so maybe we are trading rocks here. But yeah, I go into my Toxic Rock here. It's immune to Scald, it's immune to Toxic. And then I can get some scary damage up with this guy. My opponent did take his time right here. And I do get my Toxic Rock in, and he did go for Ice Beam, doing almost half my HP, which kind of sucked. I just went for the Ice Punch here in case he wanted to go into Crobat. Like, a close combat is really obvious, so I felt like his only resistance is the Crobat. If he goes Rotom, Rotom will get to it KO'd. He doesn't see Black Sludge on me, but he still decided to bring in the Rotom, which was kind of insane. And here I was like, okay, screw it, man. I think I just closed combat. I did crit him, but I'm kind of sure that the crit doesn't matter. I don't think he was really physically defensive, because otherwise the Ice Punch would have done way less. But I did crit him. If it mattered, I'm sorry, but I needed to get that damage off anyway. He was in the way of Weavile. And I still have my Toxic Rock alive, which is really nice. Maybe my opponent wanted to defog there as well. Like, he needed to be max HP, max defense, but I'm literally... This is literally the maximum amount of damage you can do with Toxic Rock on Life Orb. And yeah, with Rotom gone, it just becomes really scary for him now. I get my Umbreon on this. And I would definitely like to Wish Pass to my Toxic Rock, but yeah, like you guys like you guys saw, the Ice Beam did a lot of damage. My opponent goes for the Stealth Rock here, expecting me to swap here, and I think I just Wish here. As Empoleon comes in, yeah, it's not much I can do about it. I cannot go directly into Toxic Rock in case he goes for Ice Beam. So what I'll do is go into Weezing so I can get off my Toxic Spikes. If I... His Ice Beam is definitely gonna kill me. I have to still rock damage. If I had a bit more HP, I could have gone Toxicroak. But yeah, Weezing becomes pretty free. If he does go for Scald for some reason, not likely. Like, could go into Toxicroak. Yeah, he does indeed Ice Beam me. I get back to full HP and I can get on my Toxic Spikes, which will pressure the Garchomp. And Conkeldurr as well. I'd rather have him poisoned than burnt, of course. He decides to stay in. And I was like, what is he doing? Scalding? No, he went for a Roar. So, Ice Beam, Roost. Ice Beam, Roost, Roar, Scald. Most likely his set. And I'm just gonna spam those wishes, because if he, for some reason, decides to Roar me and gets me into Toxicroak, it's gonna suck for him, you know? So I decided to go Weezing. I just wanted to switch into a Pokemon I can pressure him with, and if he clicks Roar, I always have the chance of getting roared into my Toxicroak. So that was basically the goal. And he does roar me, and it's just a matter of whatever to get roared into my Toxicroak, and this is where Toxicroak comes in, and yeah, this really sucks for him. And I think I just go for close combat here. Like, he knows I have Ice Punch, but my opponent just decides to forfeit straight away. And we pick up this W as well. And let's see how much rating we are. So we basically got like 10 points again. 9 points maybe. So we're climbing our way up. Yeah, we can check the leaderboard, but it's still gonna be the same. So 700 is where we need to go towards. But yeah, like I said, by the time we get there, it will be higher. And I'm gonna skip ahead again. Okay. So this one was okay. But yeah, I faced the ones that I couldn't beat. So it's a bit of a spoiler. But I'll show you guys anyway. Like, we start off really well. But it was basically a set I couldn't beat. Oh, no, with Steam. I lead up with Blissey, my opponent leads off with Pelipper, I get on my rocks. Basically the same as the other rain game. Kabutops comes in, and I just go straight into my Toxicroak here. As he goes for Stone Edge. And watch, guys, we don't see Life Orb. But he did more... He did almost have my head, so I assume this Kabutops was Choice Banded. I just go straight for close combat there. If he stays in, I kill him, of course. If Pelipper comes in, he comes in on rocks. He'll be forced to Roost. And I still get some recovery from the rain. And if he goes Gliscor, I can Ice Punch him later on. And basically get rid of him. So Gliscor is the one that ends up coming in. And he ended up being Rocky Helmet, which is a bit annoying because it's still gonna chip me down even though I have the rain up. But yeah, here I'm just able to go for Ice Punch. And we knock him out, so like now we are ahead. Kabutops is definitely a threat though. But as long he's not Swords Dance, so that way Umbreon can still revenge kill him. He can never set up on me, like we confirmed he's Choice Banded. Kabutops comes in again. And let's see what I do here. I think I just go into Umbreon anyway. Like, there's no way he's gonna Waterfall me. Stone Edge doesn't do it KO me unless he crits me. Or do I go Weezing? See. No, Umbreon. And that is indeed not a 2-hit KO. I think I just go for Wish here. As he Stone Edges again. Doesn't get the crit. He connected two Stone Edge in a row. And yeah, I'm just gonna click... I just clicked Protector anyway. And I actually assumed him going into Toxicroak. But he went to do Ferrothorn, which is whatever. I think I just go for Wish here again. Ferrothorn obviously annoying. See what he does here. He gets up his spikes. I'm not sure if I go directly into Toxicroak here though, because that's a bit risky with him being that low. I went Wheezing instead, yeah. So if I did go Toxicroak there, that would have been so amazing. But he decided to go Kingdra instead. Yeah, I kept my Gligar for his Toxicroak there, just in case. But here, I don't really want to take a Draco with this. So I think my Blissey is going to be my play here. As he Dragon Pulses. And I just went for Seismic Toes just in case he goes into the Pelipper to set up his rain. But my opponent decided to go Ferrothorn instead. Which was kind of annoying. This was kind of annoying. Ferrothorn is never fun to deal with. So I Soft Boil it here. And let's see what my opponent does. Goes for another Spike. And yeah, he kind of gets up a lot of layers. I'm definitely looking to defog them. But again, I bring in Wheezing. Because that's the only thing I can reliably beat Ferrothorn with. But he decides to swap out again into the Toxicroak. And I just went for Toxic Spikes here. Because if he swaps out, it's basically to pressure the Kingdra, and this I can Clear Smoke it later on. He reveals the Substitute. But the only way my Substitute cannot break him is if he's running Spadef Toxicroak. And yeah. It is Spadef Toxicroak on Rain, so I instantly lose to this set. Outside of Rain is okay, but it's inside Rain. Like he doesn't have his Rain up yet, so I can kind of spam Flamethrower. This is where Haste would be really nice. But still, eventually he's gonna beat me down. So I bring in my Gligar after breaking the sub, so he has to sub again. And because he doesn't have the Rain up, he doesn't get too much recovery there. Earthquake here. He clicks Toxic, and that's basically the set I was using. I used it with Swords Dance because it was outside of Rain, of course. But he's using that same set, and yeah, this way I can still beat him. But the moment he gets up Rain, he just gets too much recovery. So I just keep Earthquaking him here. Because he's at +2, don't want to mess around with this. And I really wanted to expect him to switch out there, but if he subs and I don't attack, it's gonna be horrible. And now he has the Rain up, and yeah, I cannot beat that guy. I cannot beat that Toxicroak. Not when he has Rain up. Like obviously my Wheezing can remove the Dry Skin, but with the Rain up, my Flamethrower is not gonna damage him at all. I go Umbreon here as he U-turns, and Toxicroak is probably gonna come in again to remove the hazards. And yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead, but it's just purely based on matchup because my Gligar cannot beat this with rain. Look at how much recovery he's getting. So I just decided to let that game go because my Weavile obviously doesn't do any damage to this if he has multiple build ups up. So that's basically the battle we lost, and now we're 15 minutes in. Let's go to the next one. That game, by the way. Let me check out. Well, I guess I didn't check my rating, but I assume we lost like 10 points from that guy. Anyway, now I'm playing Hyper Offense. Hyper Offense with dual screen. A bit annoying, and yeah, you might not think much of this team, but if he has a bunch of setup sweepers and a bunch of heavy hitters with double screen up, it's always gonna be scary. So here I'm gonna lead off with my Blissey, and now I'm gonna reveal my Blissey tech because you guys have seen that I haven't used leftovers on this guy, and this is one of the reasons because now against those guys I can get up my rocks versus them because he's most likely gonna taunt me, right? They always do. They always do. Skarmory lead, Aerodactyl lead. This lead, usually something that has taunt. Like he's really thinking hard to click to click Toxic Air. I don't know why. I just want to show it off there. Come on. Click it, dude. Come on. We're all waiting here. Yeah, there's the taunt, and now I reveal my mental herb. I get my stealth rock off, and this mental herb is pretty nice because I've poisoned Hydreigons with this. I've poisoned Jellicents with this, trying to taunt me basically. And I just go for Seismic Dose because I know he's gonna reflect up. And I'm just trying to get some damage on this so I can kill this later on. And unfortunately, I'm getting paralyzed on the next one because he would have been below half HP and then he had to come in on rocks. I assumed he's gonna switch out here. I think I went into Gligar in case he goes into Gengar. I really would have loved to get out Seismic Dose damage off though. Because after rocks, I'm pretty sure Ice Shard will kill him as well. And like I said, he won't be able to get out double hazards anymore. Because anything on my team will basically kill it. If he tries to set up, so he only gets up one layer. So that's why it sucks. And he doesn't have any recovery of his kit, of course. And my opponent did decide to go into Gengar. I get in my Gligar. I think I just Earthquake here. Because Pursuit is not a kill on him yet. Because of the Reflect. So I Earthquake. He Wisps me. A bit annoying. Because it's Wisp plus Protect. Wisp plus Reflect. I'm just gonna Wisp again. I was afraid of him going for Hex. But he reveals Shadow Ball. Which I definitely take. But unfortunately he gets the Spadef drop too. And yeah, with Gligar being this low and burnt and all, I didn't really have a switch into this, so I wanted him dead. I don't want to defog here. I can defog his screens away, but I want to keep up my rocks. So I U-turn, but he decided to go for the Nasty Plot there, thinking that he's gonna live an extra Earthquake. He would have, but now I get in my Weavile, and like I said, I want this guy guaranteed gone. And with all this damage, I was pretty sure that I knock him out with Pursuit. So I went for it. We got it. And he was definitely gonna die, even if he stayed in. He was probably staying in anyway. And now I have the problem. I have to switch into either Durant or Scrafty. Maybe even the Crobat. But yeah, Scrafty comes in. And I went straight into my Weezing, because if this is bulk up, I don't want to be dealing with this. So get in this guy. As my opponent revealed Dragon Dance. And that's gonna hurt, man. And he's most likely shed skin, but the light screens are still up. He goes for a crunch. He gets the Rocky Helmet damage, and I remove his healing. I wanted to keep wheezing for the Durant as well, but I have to commit it to one Pokemon. Here I went for the Toxic Spikes. Actually, just Dragon Dances again, but the Toxic Spikes were kind of necessary for the damage on Sceptile and on Electrode. I was surprised that he Dragon Dance though, because I could have just Clear Smoke spammed. Yeah, I get off my Clear Smoke here, and I just Clear Smoke again. And here I needed to decide what am I gonna do. I think I just went for Pain Split in case he uses Rest or something. Or in case he switches, maybe he doesn't want to let this die. And he Dragon Dances, and I was like, okay, man. Yeah, it's gonna suck because I don't have Wheezing for the Durant anymore, so that Durant is really scary right now because my Gligar is still burned. But for some reason my opponent decided to Dragon Dance again. So I basically knock him out. So I still keep my Rocky Helmet for the Durant, just in case. My opponent decides to go Crobat there. I'm not sure if this is Defog. I think here I just decided to go for the Pain Split anyway. But he revealed Nasty Plot. And I wasn't sure if he was Roost or Giga Drain. I just went for Clear Smoke as he Air Slashes me. So my Weezing did end up dying, but I was kind of afraid of him being so scary. But at least now he's in Ice Shard range. He's at +2. Don't want to predict there because he can Air Slash flinch me. So I'm just gonna Ice Shard. And I was really afraid though of the Durant. And imagine if I got the Seismic Dose damage off. I was able to Ice Shard him, and I would have probably killed the Electro too. But I have to go into Blissey. Because yeah, I cannot prevent this. And the reason I wanted Blissey is because the Durant is gonna take Stealth Rock damage and my Seismic Dose damage. And Durant is most of the times Life Orbed. Basically, I was hoping that I wouldn't get paralyzed. He's gonna die on the next one. Not sure why I clicked Toxic there. I clicked Toxic there because I didn't want to get paralyzed. That's right. Because there was no way he was gonna go hard Durant there. And now Durant comes in. And like I said, I need to Seismic Dose damage off on him. Maybe I could have hard swapped to Toxicroak there actually. Maybe that would have been a better play. But I was so set on getting my Seismic Dose damage on him. And basically waiting out the screens. Because I assumed he was Life Orbed. That's usually what they are. And it's definitely killing me. And he was Life Orbed. And I basically have to wait out the screens at that point. Because I can use Umbreon to protect. And I wanted to I just wanted to check if my Toxicroak can take the damage. But there's no way. I live in Iron Head, so I just die anyway. I don't have Sucker Punch in this, otherwise I would have used it. But now I go into Umbreon and we protect. Just waiting out the Reflect. This is what I meant, man. Hyper Offense is scary. He goes for X-Scissor there. So Gligar lives too as well. And the Reflect was finally gone, so I can just sack the Gligar. And now I can go into Weavile and click Ice Shard. And basically sweep him. That was basically what we're trying to do. Like, the Durant was obviously scary, and this is why I wanted the Blissian. But in hindsight, it probably would have been better if I, on a turn Electro dies to poison, I should have brought in my Toxicroak. Because close combat obviously would have done way more damage to that guy. But that's just in hindsight. I get to Ice Shard him. Durant has no priority moves. He doesn't get first impression in this game, so in that sense, he takes a Stealth Rock damage and he gets the poison damage too, so I just decided to Ice Shard. He could be Scarf for all I know. And we basically knocked him out, and that was definitely a scary game to play. That was definitely scary. And he was gone. And let's see where that puts us. I should be checking. Yeah. So 5.69. I did lose a game, so basically around the same. This game, what do we have here? I'll keep this battle for the next one. This is where my Toxicroak went crazy, boys. This is where my Toxicroak went crazy. Like, you guys won't expect what happens here. Like, my Toxicroak went ham this game. I'm gonna leave this for the next one. So episode 1 part 3 is when you get to see this battle. We're about halfway there in this recording, so there will probably be 2 more parts. So next part and a part after that, so basically 4 parts in total. So yeah, like always guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, click on the dislike button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. This is the place to be if you want to learn about PokeMMO PvP, Pokemon PvP in general as well. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Make sure to join our Discord server as well if you'd like some people to hang out with, to chat with, to discuss this game with. Then our Discord server is the place to be. And if you are interested in the team I'm using in this video, you can check it out on Patreon. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a wonderful day.